When I decided I was ready for a husband, the first thing I did was prepared myself to be an energetic match for the type of soul I was calling in. And so I made sure to have the time of my life. At the time, I lived in London alone, and I would get Time Out magazine every Friday and look through the magazine at all the fun things there were to do around London. And I would book in dates with myself to go do these things. I would go to the cinema by myself and go to fabulous restaurants by myself and go to galleries and museums and do all kinds of things. And I was having the time of my life because I understood like attracts like. And I wanted to attract someone who loved going out and doing fabulous things. I also made sure that my self-worth was through the roof. I love myself and I look so nice, and I'm really investing in treating myself like a queen because I wanted to attract someone who treated me like a queen. The other way that I made room for this person to come into my life was made sure that any old relationships or any old soul ties that I had were gone. Then I made a list, a very long list of all the qualities that I desired in a future mate. And I thought very carefully about this list. Now, before, my old lists were very centered around physical attributes. But I realized that if I was going to be in a long-term partnership for life with this person, it had to be more than physical attributes. Because we were going to be living together, not just in the here and now, but in 10 years' time, 20 years' time. And so I zoomed out and thought about our partnership now and in 10, 20 years. And because I couldn't preempt who this person was going to be or what our lives were going to be like together, I would write things like, we grow and we learn together, and we're always enjoying each other's company as we expand and explore. I also thought about things that cause conflict in marriages, things like finances and communication. And so I wrote down, aligned on our finances, we communicate well, we resolve conflict in a healthy manner, we share the same belief systems and we have the same morals. And so I really enjoyed writing this list and putting it together. And when I met my husband for the first time, I knew instinctively he was the one. I met him in London while I was working for one of his clients. Pretty much everything that I had written on this paper, he was. I also made a vision board and put that in the love and romance corner of the room I was renting at the time. And on the vision board were words such as bliss, adventure. And when I first met my husband, he kept saying, "This is bliss. What an amazing adventure we're on." Every time that I left my house to go to the grocery store or wherever, I would pretend I was going out to meet him. So I was acting as if I didn't have any tension around I'm too old and it's too late and what if this doesn't happen? Because if I did, I would understand that part of me was doubtful or fearful that it wasn't meant to be. So if those thoughts had have come up, I would have had to explore them and deal with them so that I was an energetic match for him coming. And because I was having so much fun entertaining myself, I didn't really care about the time it took, which incidentally didn't take long. Remember when I decided I'm ready for a husband and I felt it through my energetic infrastructure that I was serious about it. I was like, no, I'm ready. And I'm dropping everywhere that I'm forcing him to look like or be this person or whatever. And I'm open to God matching me with the person he knows is gonna fulfill my soul. And I wrote my list, and I remember being so, I know I'm going to meet my husband, that it took 2 to 3 weeks after writing it that I met him. Now, you may have written your list or done whatever and think, well, I'm convicted and it's taken longer than that. There's no formula. If a year had gone by, I would continue auditing everywhere that I don't believe it would happen or was doubting it would happen or believing it would happen. But I would just be so focused on the fact that I was already hitched, and at the same time be an allowance that, and also if I don't get hitched, I'm still going to be having the most fabulous time. And that allowance of, oh, and I'm good either way, would actually bring him sooner. What happens is sometimes people think if I'm in allowance and I say that I'm happy if it doesn't come, then I might be subscribing to that. But I don't believe that. I believe that what you're saying is the choices are excellent or amazing. I'm good either way. Pulling yourself out of the way, allowing God to do the how. That's the other thing as well. Ask God, but don't ask from a place of begging. Let your prayer be faith-driven. God, this is happening. I'm ready. Bring him on. And let it go and have fun. And don't be, I've let it go, but I'm still looking for him. Let it go and go live your best life. Because when they come in, you want to be an energetic match for all things fabulous.